And one last thing about noticing. And I always مش بعلموا four skills أنا دائما بضيف معهم 5 noticing. أعتبر إنه learning by noticing is the most important thing. بيصير طالب في سنة رابعة بتلاقيه بكتب بحط فراغ قبل النقطة مثلا. تمام؟ طب أنت لك 4 سنين بتقرأ إنجليزي ما لاحظتهاش؟ seriously. اكتب مثلا وحاط 13 علامة تعجب. طب أنت خارج بطاقة الفيسبوك مثلا عمرك شفت أكثر من علامة تعجب في نص محترم؟ That's part of the noticing thing. 13 علامة سؤال و14 علامة تعجب، أو كاتب القصة كلها بالإيش؟ all caps, all capital. أو all small. في بالمناسبة شاعر اسمه E. Cummings، مر عليكم؟ E. Cummings بكتب كله بالسمول، حتى اسمه بكتب بالسمول. خلاص يعني بعتبر إنه إحنا نستاهلش إنه نكتب حتى بالكابيتال. We have done nothing. وإحنا نستحق الحياة. شاعر مشهور E. Cummings CUMMINGS من أجمل الشعراء. E. Cummings E نقطة Cummings له قصيدة مشهورة مش عارف إذا درسوها في الشعر مع دكتور أكرم. قصيدته شكلها جزء من معناها. بيقول I زي هيك I live I don't know falls lonely something. قصيدة هيك بكتبها كلماتها بشكل I live falls loneliness. فبوصف كيف ورقة الشجرة تسقط falls lonely فشكل القصيدة part of this. wonderful poet. شاعر يعني contemporary يمكن له 50 سنة بس 100 أو شيء. طيب ناخذ تمرين واحد، كنت عملنا أكثر من تمرين بس صورنا. أوكي. آخر شيء عشان نخلص. طيب. When you write, you need to observe. مضبوط هذه المرحلة الأولى. And when you write, you need to remember because you want to recall things. And when you write, you need to be convincing. 3 مهارات موجودة في التمارين هذه. ما فيش معنى وقت المرة نعملهم كلهم، لكن I want you to do them at home. If you are interested in a third session, we'll leave that to use it. التمرين الأول بيقول write about the morning. Write for 15 minutes. خليها 7 minutes. About the morning. When you are finished, post your practice in the comments. ما جبت طبعا من الإنترنت أنا. يعني بكتب كلامك هذا. Or so you choose this one. Write about the morning. بمعنى anything. إما بتوصف الصباح أو تتخيل حالك صحيت أو تتخيل حاجة صحيت من النوم. Anything. تتخيل الصباح في الصيف في الشتاء في كذا صحيت فرحان سعيد. You choose the mood. You choose anything. هذا بنسميه observation. أو تختار الثانية your first day at school, nursery, at university, at your first bike, your first friend, your first book, your first anything.
Work day.
Your first?
Work day.
What's that?
Work day.
Work day? What's work day?
Work day.
Work day, yeah, work, yeah. Yeah, that is really. Write something. شايفين الحية بسموها بوا constriction اسمها الكامل. بوا حية صينية عفوا برازيلية. الفارق وطيران. بوا for sale. اقنعني اشتري الحية هذه منك. Write something, convince the reader something convincing. خليني اشتري، خليني ما اطلعش من المحل، مش بخش في محلات في ناس بخليك تشتريه غصب عنك مش تشتري. انت بيعني حية الان. Okay? And choose now. I'll give you 7. Choose just one of them. أتمنى ما حدا يعني توزعوا حالكم يعني ما حدا الكل يروح على البسة ولا على الحية ولا على طبعا ممكن تقول your first pet, your first cat, your first mobile phone, your first laptop. الكلام اللي حكيناه من حوار من وصف من description من language حاولوا قدر الإمكان تطبقوه. يعني لو انتلت هذه بكون جيد. ايش يا الحياة؟ يوسف بذكرني هاي نربطها في الحدث. Like remember I said when you write anything always make the reader take it home. كان تجربة يعيشها يعني. كان فينا صديق very impossible to convince him to do anything. Impossible. فينا أصدقاء زي مستحيل. فكانوا يعانوا منه الشباب، فالشباب بده بمزح معي بيقول لي ايش؟ بيقول لي خذ 100 شيكل واقنعه. فقلت له خذ 1000 شيكل واعفيني. نعم. فشيء يوسف تو بذكرني بالحدث، بيقول لي خذ 1000 شيكل واعفيني من قصة الحياة. فهذه الجملة قعدنا سنتين نكرر فيها لليوم. صار كل ما يصير حاجة طبعا بصير بعدها طور عليها. ف always think of your writing as something. Either in your characterization, in your language, in your plot. عملنا برضه كنت بعمل تمرين مرة، فواحدة من البنات كتبت جملة كان 6 word short story and I still remember this. I will never forget this. بتقول احنا بنقول بكت. She cried. وإن كان البكاء له like 20 at least 20 ways to describe this. فبتقول her tears tiptoed down her cheek. تعرف شو tiptoe؟ tiptoeing هو السير على طرف الأقدام. شوف جمال التشبيه والتصوير والتغيير. شبهت الدموع بإنسان يمشي على أطراف قدمه، والإنسان يمشي على أطراف قدمه إما خجلا أو حياء أو خوفا. Isn't that beautiful؟ ما راح بقول لي كيف المشهد اللي جبتوه في غازا رايتس باك برضه. مشهد بيكون فيه انفجار والطفل معلق تحت وبيصير يبكي. أعتقد في قصة روان، أحد قصص روان. فإحنا وصفنا الدمع مشي هان وكون طينة في منطقة الدين وطلعنا جبنا اسمها أظن المنطقة هذه اللي هي اسمها outside ear or something. بقول كيف جبتوها؟ قلت له عادي بسيطة لأنه الطفل على ظهره نايم فالدمعة مش حتنزل هيك. لو نزلت هيك أو جت هان على الأنف أنا غلط أنا لأنه نايم. بعدين في انفجار وفي غبرة وفي عج فبالضرورة حتاخذ إيش؟ dust and mud and etc. Sometimes you need to بمعنى أنك تكتب قصة أحيانا وواحد بده يبكي وهو نايم أو نايمة على كتفها اليمين على المخدة. وروح يجيب قطارة وحط فيها I'm serious. حط فيها كذا واعمل اسمه شوف كيف وين خط الدمعة بتنزل. هل بتنزل هان أو هان بتنزل على المخدة دغري؟ هل هي جغرافيا like physically is it possible إنها وأنت نايمة على المخدة هيك تنزل على الدان هان؟ ممكن لا. فجربيها إذا على المخدة أو غيرها. You need to do this. فأنا قلت له أنا إيش سويت مرة فاتت في القصة هذه I literally drew everything. رسمت الجدار وقلت في الاتجاه هذا والاتجاه هذا والاتجاه هذا والاتجاه هذا. That's part of the writing. يلا 5 minutes. 7 minutes. When you go home, you just take your time. And you can drink your stuff. also. I can read the bit by Rawan from beneath. My breath softly came back to my face with the smell of grayish objects rather than a breeze carrying the scent of our garden plants, touching my nose and cheeks as if to comfort and tell me that everything will be okay. But a minute later, I started crying. The sky was starless, and she's on her back, stuck under the rubble of her house, and the sky was starless. And only then did I realize that my eyes were closed. Her eyes were closed. For I started to feel my sticky eyelashes. There's blood, tears, right? And dust, so eyelashes are sticky. It didn't matter. Opening and closing them were thoroughly the same. I cried so much that my tears, mixed with the dust on my face, felt like mud crawling to the edges of my cheeks and filling the canals of my ear. Like the edges of the cheek here and filling the canals of my. I must have been bleeding because a horrible pain started growing in my, etc. etc. That's the thing I describe when I say you need to visualize things. مش عارف إذا بتعرفوا روبرت فيسك. بتعرفوا روبرت فيسك؟ Robert Fisk is a very famous, veteran English journalist. يكتب مقالات باستمرار في جريدة Independent. He's one of the best writers ever. One of the best people to ever write in English. له أكثر من كتاب منها هذا The Great War for Civilization موجود سوفت كوبي برضه على الإنترنت. طبعا بيحكي كل تاريخ الشرق الأوسط في 100 سنة اللي فاتوا تاريخ وكذا بس اللغة magic, very beautiful. يعني أنا لما أكون أحيانا stuck, I want to write something and I'm stuck, I just go and read him and just he inspires you. Very beautiful language. كأنه شاعر يعني لغة سلسة وبسيطة ومباشرة لكن رائع. كتابه هذا 1300 1700 1400 كلمة 1400 صفحة. Crazy, right? طيب نشوف مين بده يبيعنا حيايا. طيب وإذا ما اقتنعناش. Are you sure you're convincing?
Yes.
طيب let's assume you have some bucks to throw and some تعرف تفرجوا على Friends تاع Chandler بيقول لما when because he believed he would never get married or find somebody to like him. بيقول I'll grow up and I'll bring a snake and then when kids throw stones at me I'll just scare them with a snake and they'll call me crazy snake man, etc. By the way, watching these things, especially Friends and like funny stuff, also inspire you and improves your language. So let's see what the snake has to do.
Bua is an amazing friendly pet you could ever have. Our buas in our store were intentionally made for anyone who likes to begin an experience, even if it was a freakish one. Our bua does not have thongs and it does not bite. And even if it did, and I'm not saying that it does, you shouldn't be worried because the poison has been observed completely. Just go with it and you won't regret it.
Would you want to buy something from somebody who's telling you this poison, freakish? Is it convincing?
I felt she's showing the bad points about the boy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I didn't.
In a way, she's scaring us. She's telling us don't buy.
Right,
Exactly.
poison.
Oh. So in this case, I think you should avoid mentioning like even the word poison, like being negative. حتى الناس ممكن تسمع poison. Oh my God. But you could also add elements of personalization. You know, personification, personify, to do stuff like this, to use funny language, humorous language, maybe something like this. Let's listen from more. Yeah, please.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the first time for me to write anyway.
Okay.
Okay, aren't you tired of being regular, typical human being? Yeah, I know, you want to be like your cousin Muhammad or your friend Isam and to have a cat or a puppy. But come on, if you got this snake, you will be the first person in your family or the whole block to have a snake as a pet. People maybe want to become your friends, the children will come to your home and they will love to see your lovely, colorful pet. You will become their favorite uncle. And hey, if you, hey, you can make a fortune out of it. Just act as your beloved friend, and maybe we can see you soon in the city center making shoes with it.
That's really beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to be different. You're not. I like how you're not like Muhammad who has a cat or somebody who has a dog or hobby or whatever. You're different. And she convinces us you're different because this is going to happen. Unless you're going to make money.
Yeah.
And people are going to like you. You're going to be,
Just convince anyone that he will make a fortune or a money out of thing, he will be convinced just like that.
very, very, very interesting. وفعلا, it makes us think that, oh my God, maybe nobody has a snake. I think I should have a snake. Well, nobody has that. Okay? مين ضافت شيء ثاني على more. بمعنى على سبيل المثال ممكن when you write هذا خطأ تقع فيه. تلاقي احنا كاتبين قصة كاملة والشخصية ما لهاش اسم. Generally, you should name your characters, unless it's part of your purpose. I want to keep it nameless because she doesn't have a name, or he stands for anybody, or because the person is searching for a name, for an identity. She doesn't have an identity, so she doesn't have a name or something. But if this snake has a name, and a name that is funny, attractive, snaky على سبيل المثال أو مسميها snack. Have you seen my snack? Yeah, I ate. Oh my God, you ate my snack? Not your snack, your snack. Oh, because anyway. So you could name that. You could give it particular features. You could make it funny, like she can do your dishes, or help you clean up, or something. More, مين كتبت عن الحياة؟ مين بتقرأ عن الحياة؟ طيب, next. Who can observe the morning in our Ramadan? Please.
Nisma. The way my name exploded out of my little brother's mouth was so provoking. Hiding behind my locked room door, spitting out my name, not the ordinary way that any normal human being would use. Imagining him prolonging and stretching the second syllable of my name drove me out of my mind. He's just trying to get me angry. I won't give him the pleasure of winning. I thought, calm down, Nisma. I told myself, rubbing the oily pores of my chin and nose and laughing because I realized I just uttered my name the way my little brother just did. I pulled myself out of my bed, threw a wink to my reflection in the mirror, and rushed out of my room, hovering with eagerness for some food.
What do you think? What do you think?
She's not describing the morning, she's describing what happened in the morning.
تركت الخيار لكم مكتوب. But this happens almost every day in the morning. It's the daily ritual. What do you think? Did you like it? If this is a beginning of a story, an opening, this is how a story opens. Would you want to read it?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have this? You're truly Nisma, like this is not fictional Nisma.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have an idea where you can take the story and write a good story, a complete story about this, or still it's not cooked yet? You don't know? Okay. But this is a really wonderful opening because it happens with us. The way people wake you up, brother, little sister, sometimes usually your mom or something, and the way your name is said, it's your name, you love it. You should like your name. How it makes you, and then it gets funny when she herself talks to herself, calming herself down, and then realizes that she has started using her own name like people. So probably this is how her name is said in the morning, whatever it is. I like this idea, this trick of like, oh my God, stop saying my name like that. And then you calm yourself by saying your name exactly like you don't want it to be said. That's smart and that's witty, like, oh, interesting. But also the point of people waking up to this thing in the morning. I had it as a first draft, that's really good. فيما بعد نتحرك لإيش؟ بتذكر أنا كان واحدة من خواتي مش عارف مين منهم. Which one? I think she was like a year old, a year and a half, something. It wasn't one of my brothers. يجي نام على الأرض. ما كانش أنا نام على الحوض. طبعا هذا جغرافيا بده يكون جزء من الفهم القصة بمعنى إذا أنا فاهم I am on my bed في قصة case of suspicion بيصحى الراجل عم يتخذ فلما يصحى على التخت مباشرة بقعد and he starts searching for his مثلا slippers أو he feels the cold of the floor فبفهم أنا إنه الراجل قاعد على ما فيش تحت سجادة ولا إيش خلاص عشان يحكي لنا فكرة الكولدنس فكانت تسند حالها على الحيط هيك تحط رجلها وتصحيني هيك
يهود.
It was really fun. I would always like wake up and laugh and just wake up because of this. But your story is missing this, the action, الحركة. بمعنى لما قال نسمة وين كان؟ على الباب جنبك بعيد.
أكيد.
بشكل أكثر يعني في كثير visualization. إذا قريب ليش؟ إذا بعيد ليش؟ بمعنى أنت مثلا حاطة جنبك صاحب كل يوم بتنام الشبشب جنبك عشان يصحيك تزني فيه أو معروف عنك ترمي كل حاجة حواليك الصبح ساعة. هذا بيكون في قصة كيس اوف سسبشن الطريقة اللي سهل فيها الدكتور لها علاقة بالثيم بمعنى الآن أنت you want to go لو افترضنا طلعتي من المشهد هذا ورحتي على الجامعة أو على الشغل it has to be connected.
مثلا your personality or something.
It's about identity. You're searching for identity. Your identity. You don't like the society. You don't like how the society treats you as a woman. If it's a young woman, and your first day of work, or the way you treated at university by teachers, or by friends, or by people there, or something. Everything has to be connected. ممكن ما تجيش معنا من أولها, but later on when you write more and more, يعني شوفوا زي ما حكيت لكم, the potential of the story lies in its value. إيش يعني value? When you read the story, it changes you. It makes you think. It raises questions. It doesn't have, by the way, it doesn't have to answer questions. قصة الأدب يا جماعة كله بمختلف أنواع. It's not about finding answers. It's about raising questions. More about this than that. If your story has the value, سهل الواحد يعملها editing, يحسن اللغة, يحسن الديالوج. في قصص لو فرجيكم النسخة الأولى والثانية منها, النسخة النهائية منتشرة, مش حتصدقوا إن هذه هي هذه. It's totally different. لكن it's the same value, it's there. بعض القصص عملناهم حذفنا منها, بقول مثلا كانت 7 صفحات, حذفنا صفحتين كاملات. ورحنا جبنا منها وبدينا حطينا يعني we changed how things are arranged. Very beautiful, interesting. More.
طبعا بدي اسال شغله, انه دائما الايديتنج باخذ معايا وقت اكثر بكثير من الفيرست مثلا.
طبعا معروف. Yeah, it's natural. But if you want to get published, or if you publish, it's usually somebody else's job to edit your work.
I published once, and when I sent it,
did you write short story or journalism articles or?
No, it's like a short story. It's about the dream, and
Where did you publish it?
For Birandi magazine. Yes, and I spent like 1 month to edit my story, but when I sent it over, they published it directly, like without editing.
هو في الأصل إنه it's huge طبعا شوف.
Because I didn't want people to change my words.
But listen, editors can do anything. بعرف ناس كانوا I would never ever allow anybody to change anything I write. لما يجي عند الإديتور بيصير زي ليش تيم زي الحميك ميك شيب حمل وديع literally. لأنه أحيانا بيصل واحد لمرحلة بس خلصني خذ المقال. كتبنا أنا يوسف مقال في مجلة في أمريكية مقال 21 صفحة كتبته طلع من روحي لما كتبته عيدوا كذا. ففي الآخر صار يقول لي وبيعمل تراك تشينجز فبقول بس شوف الايديتس اللي احنا عملناها بقول اوكي وانا مش مطلع عليه. لما وصلت لمرحله انه خلاص
بس مرات يعني your piece doesn't feel like it's يعني مرات بتتغير كل الاشي.
في وارد وهذا في الاخر بيرجع الك انه لو سمحتوا هم اصلا they also contact you. لا excuse me no I don't want this to happen. بس للاسف 90% 99% من الوقت انه احنا بنتمنى الناس ترجع لنا. في غزة رايتس باك كان في قصة احنا جبنا القصص واخترنا عملنا شورت ليستنج صرنا نقعد مع كل كاتب بالدور. يوسف قعدنا وياه بيجي اسبوع كامل هيك وهيك والى اخره.
بدك تشوف
فينا نعمل هذا. في طالبة بنت في قصة كاتبة مسمية واحد ايزاك وواحد مسميها اسلام. فانا استثقلتهم خلينا ايزاك سميناه جو واسلام عشان محايد الاسم واسم اسلام ومش عارف ايش. قلت له ايش رايك نسميه اسم بدل على انه مسلم يعني لكن مش اسلام. مثلا علي او محمد قالت لا انا بدي اياه هيك خلص انت حره. في روايه في قصه الفول لايف تاعت حنان نفس الشيء. في تقرا القصه تصل لصفحه 6 you don't know whether the narrator is male or female. فانا فهمت انه فيها فكره حلوه يعني. قلت بس خلينا نقدمها شويه كمان صفحتين نقدمها يعني page 4 يعني it's too much. فقالت لا انا حباها زي قلم لكن في اشياء غيرناها يعني هذه لا هذه ما ينفعش كذا. في معلومات في قصه جيهان معلومات طبيه بحته. انا كتبت لك are these things medically accurate فقالت لي 100%. امها طبيبه فهي سالة عنها ايش بيصير في كذا لما يصير في كذا. You need to check this. So editing takes more time of course. أنا كتبت اللي بيجي 10 قصائد كتبنا نشرهم عندي على البلوج. This is gaza@wordpress.com. في قصيدة عندي أطول قصيدة يمكن ما أخذت معايا في الكتابة ما أخذتش يوم. قعدت كل شهرين ثلاثة بحس حالي لما وصلت لمرحلة إنه I can't do anything to it. حسيت حالي I'm satisfied with it خلاص نشرتها. في قصيدة اللي 3 سنين موجودة عندي على الجهاز. آخر مرة طلعت عليها قبل أكثر من سنة. حاسس إنه أنا ممكن أعمل وفي الآخر بالمناسبة ممكن تعمل شيء أعمل أحط كوما وأشيل فول ستوب وأحط علامة استفهام أشيل على استفهام على كلمة وإلى آخره. لكن حاسس إنه it still needs time to cook زي الطبخة في الوقت اللي زي هذا. أو maybe I'm overdoing it. لكن أحيانا في أشياء we write it and we publish it. في الفترة الحالية كتبت مقال اسمه Weapons of Mass Destruction. عفوا Poems of Mass Destruction لما قصفوا الجامعة كتبت ومكتبت على الإنجليزي راقع كتبت قصائد الدمار الشامل. ما أخذ معي ساعتين بس فكرته كانت في بالي من زمان. الفكرة حوالين الموضوع فما أخذ معي كتابة ساعتين. قعدت عليه قاعدة واحدة بس. I just read it again and I sent it and it was published as it is. فيس editing takes أنا بعتبره الانسبيريشن it's just like this. لكن في ناس ما تكونوش منهم انتم. في ناس they're never happy with their writing, they're never satisfied with their writing. لا. يصل إلى مرحلة خلي صحباتك زميلاتك يقرأوا لك. لازم you have to have a friend who is always ready to read for you, even if they're busy like extremely busy. طبعا هذا بيكونش موجود إلا لما تكوني أنت برضو available for them and you read the stuff and you have to take honest feedback. بمعنى إنه الخاتمة very 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 interesting. You have a way with words and writing. Interesting. Yes. Morning. خلينا نشوف المور عن morning. ناخذ كمان morning and we'll get back to the cat. Fasting.
Most winter mornings are the same to me. It is always my mom who wakes me up. She would ask my younger sister, who is already getting dressed to leave to the university, hasn't she woken up yet? I open my eyes by just hearing her voice. I hardly try to fall asleep in peace once again. This act of waking me up disturbs me every day. since the alarm hasn't even begun ringing. It is as if my parents are preventing me from sleeping these extra 10 minutes. These extra 10 minutes make a big difference for me, for my laziness. I look at my black hand watch, which I never take off my wrist, and answer, I still have 10 minutes more. She would scold me of my laziness, but then suggest it is better to have time to eat the breakfast she prepared for my father. I would then struggle to get myself out of the heavy, warm blankets. The first thing I get to touch is my iPhone, and I stay still standing, checking all of the notifications of my social media programs till the alarm begins ringing. And I shut it, marking the signal that I have just woken up.
That's very good. But again, you fill into
A to Z.
wanting to write everything that happens. No, don't. احنا دايما يا جماعة زي هيك. We want to write everything. Don't do it. That's the first piece of advice. So what you did here, you zoomed in everything that happens. لاحظ هان ايش هان كان نسمع ركزت حاجة واحدة. How her name is said. We will never forget this. But what you did is that ال10 دقائق يعني أنا قلت لما حد ما ذكرت ال10 دقائق قلت يا ريت تفصل أكثر في ال10 دقائق. That's the best thing you can ever do. This extra 10 minutes وبيقدر الواحد مثلا يفلسف فيها أو يحكي وجهة نظره للحياة أو مش عارف. لأن أنت لو كتبت حاجة عن 10 دقائق هذول اللي بدنا إياهم إنه we always no matter how much we sleep we always want these
Extra
10
time,
minutes extra 10 minutes in the morning. I wonder what these minutes do to us. Something like this. عملت حاجة قالت my mom started rebuking me. هذا جزء من نسميه احنا كمان مرة telling. What did she tell you?
She asked my sister.
How did she do it? فinstead of saying she rebuked me مثلا she shouted at me. She أو حتى لما shouted she said something she shouted etc. فشوف الاسم كيف الناس كيف الأمر بيصحوا. يوسف اصحى يما اصحى مظبوط like هذا عالمية this is universal say it use it because if people find a link between you and them they're going to oh my god this is fun I want to see how they react to this way of يوسف اصحى يما اصحى صحيت عدوا أذن الظهر طلع في الساعة 6:30 الصبح مش عارف ايش something. Very beautiful description of how you do things in the morning. نصيحتي الأولى إنه try to zoom on specific يعني مثلا قصة الجوال والهذا شيليه بدري عليها. Okay and focus on one thing. أنت بدك تعمل انطباع واحد. How you deal with these 10 minutes. How you try to have these 10 minutes. How we think بالمناسبة أسوأ 10 دقائق في النهار هم هذول. لأنه احنا بنصير احنا على رأي الشاعر بين مهابة ورجاء خايفين ننامهم فتروح علينا من الدوام وخايفين يروحوا علينا فنصحى نعسانين وخايفين نضل في الفراش فضل الحج تزعج وخايفين نقوم فالأكل ما يكونش جاهز فمعنى انه ممكن نتكلم عنه كأنه قرار استراتيجي حرب بين الدول حتى نفلسفها بالطريقة هذه يعطينا مثلا 10 خيارات اللي هي مثلا the extra 10 minutes of the morning what happens أو واحد يفكر فيهم يعني كأنه تعطينا كأنك أنت رئيس دولة بتتخذ حرب
and I complete my dream and polish them complete my dream in these minutes
more in the morning people in the morning مين الناس تحب تصحى بدري مين في ناس تلاقيه بيصحى الصبح بتاع عينيه وبيجري يسموهم هذول اللي هي ايش الايرلي بيردز في الليت طبعا الفيسبوك والنت وهذا كله خلانا ليت اول الاول لان البومه بتنامش late owl people who go to bed late early birds people who go to bed early and wake up very early بتلاقي فينا فعلا غريبين بتلاقيه صحيح عمل هيك وقام
يمين على 9
واحنا احيانا فعليا واحد احيانا بيقعد احيانا ساعتين عبال ما يفكر انه اقوم ولا ما اقومش morning Morning, okay.
To me, morning is not that good time of the day. My family wake up before dawn and try to make as much noise as they could to wake the rest of us. Actually, I have an army of little sisters that makes their mission much easier. After getting out of home, I try to save what's left of my morning by walking in an empty street to be alone with the air and the sun.
Very good. Although it's still فيها نوع من العمومية. What's very interesting. شوف لاحظت they try to make as much noise as possible. هذا بنسميه احنا killing. لكن ايش الشوينج؟ اوصفهم حركة الأكل، صوت الأكل، صوت المعالق، الكرسي لما يقع، الباب لما ينخطب. Right؟ لما يزعقوا على بعض.
أختها الصغيرة اللي مجندينها يعني ممكن تحكي عنها تفاصيل.
Yeah, well, zoom on one particular مثلا sister or two. Something. Like, is this the only reason why you hate the morning? Because they make noise? Or are there other reasons? When we want to write, sometimes we discover things about ourselves that we don't know. واللي أخطر من هيك بالمناسبة، اللي أخطر من هيك إنه أحيانا إحنا مش عارفين. كيف يعني مش عارفين؟ كثير نسأل سؤال، إيش رأيك بكذا؟ والله ما أنا عارف.
مش فكرت في ذلك.
مش فكرت فيها. لكن لما كنت مفروض عليك إجابة، ما واحد بيقول لي بحكي لي على موضوع إنه كيف غير first impression. When you say something, you materialize it. When you write it, you even you write it in stone. كأنك تكتبها على صخر. بيقول مش عارف يتكلموا عن شاعر وقال أنا مش عاجبني الشاعر هذا بحب الشعر. وقال لما خلصوا اكتشفت إنه بيتكلموا عن شاعر مش هو اللي في بالي. تمام؟ هو الأصل إيش عنده خيال؟ إنه يروح يعتذر في عالم المثالي اليوتوبيا، والله آسف أنا قصدي عن الشاعر الثاني، فقال لا صرت أقرأ له الشاعر بالعامل وأدور له على أشياء بحبوش فيها، إنه أنا عشان بس الكلام ما غيرهوش. We usually do this. فإحنا ممكن إحنا عمرنا ما فكرت نتكلم عن الصبح، لكن رحت نكتب أو فكرت بحب الصبح ولا بحبش. طب القصة تبعتي بيناسبها إنه الصبح is not good for me، ممكن ينعكس على حياتي. عشان هيك دائما الكتاب بيعيشوا في حياة صعبة. نسمع عشان نخلص آخر إشي على ال first thing، تنتين على السريع مثلا، بلاش نعلق مثلا.
First day of university, meeting friends, wearing new stuff, grown-up ladies stuff. For a second, I thought I was dreaming. But every single detail was real. Green buildings, green trees, vendor machines, and even the welcoming balloons. I felt happy to the moon and back. In my first class, I sat on a woody desk, had a chat with some new mates, and suddenly the professor entered the class and greeted us. Assalamu alaikum. The second he greeted us, I stood up like a solid tree and greeted him back with saying wa alaikum assalam. Then my friend pulled my hand to make me sit down and whispered with a light laughter and said, "Wake up, little girl. This is university. You're not in school anymore."
First, this can be an amazing story, by the way, because it happens all the time. وبيكون قصة عميقة كمان مش بس مجرد because we take everything to university. We want to be kids, but university doesn't want to. فكان طبعا في البداية بدأت شوية معركة لأنه في عموميات. Meeting friends عام general, seeing new buildings still general, wearing new stuff general. Zoom in, be specific. Think of, I don't want to talk more, but think of this as a whole story. And where you first day you go to university and all the new experiences. Zoom on much on this thing. And when you describe this, there was a little bit of dialogue, like sit down and everything. But how people reacted, your classmates, the professor, the teacher, facial expression and thing. Do you want to end it there to make it just like this? من معنى مش قصة خلص كانها يعني مقطوعة صغيرة مقصوصة like something or just
Can I say something?
واضح انك انت في الجامعة عشان موضوع الوقفة هذه.
She reminded me of a movie called Brooklyn. It's about an innocent girl from Scotland that moved to Brooklyn, and she met like an experienced girl that lived in Brooklyn, and she told her not to do this and that and this and that. Then at the end of the movie, she went for a visit for Scotland and then came back, and she met another girl, new innocent girl moving from Scotland to Brooklyn, and she repeated the whole story. So this,
Goes on and on. But that's like we all laugh because probably some of us have seen this. لكن احنا السؤال, how can you take this serious? بمعنى how does this improve profound issues in our community, in our education system at university, problems with students at university who are still kids. هذه المشكلة بنواجهها طالب في الجامعة لكن لسه مش طفولية جيدة, لكن انه خلص بيضل عايش على spoon feeding. هذا علم على هذا في الامتحان, والصفحة اللي مش موجودة جاية في الامتحان ينزعها من هالكلام. More? Okay. Go on.
Just a minute. What he is saying? Why he is crying? I can't hear him very well. She doesn't know or even try that moment before. It was really hard. A noisy voice woke her up. Trying to focus was all what she wants, but it was not work. Please, my heart, please, stop that sound. I want to hear what he is saying. Finally, she knew that he will never come back.
Can you begin again at the very beginning because I almost missed what you did.
Okay. Just a minute. What he is saying? Why he is crying? I can't hear him very well. She doesn't know or even try that moment before. It was really hard. A noisy voice woke her up. Trying to focus was all what she wants. But it was not work. Please, my heart. Didn't work, yeah.
ايش رايكم؟ فهمتوا حاجة من المقدمة؟ ايش في شخصيات علقت في
Maybe it's a baby.
It's like an internal dialogue, right? What's that?
It's like someone putting some trouble or trying to convince her heart about something happening to her.
Sorry with herself.
طيب. Like I said, the dialogue is good, it's very lively. ما كان يعني في حوار أكثر من باقي المقطوعات. But remember, if this is the beginning and the reader doesn't make sense of what you're trying to say or convey, he or she is going to lose interest in your story. Pay attention to this. Unless you're sure that it's written in a smooth, direct way that makes the reader wants to read the story again. كم لي هالمقاطع بعد ما هذا؟
Please, I said, please, my heart, please stop that sound. I want to focus what he is saying. Finally, she knew that he will never come back.
He will never come back. Maybe this sentence might make me continue. He will never come back. Like remember, so far there's no attachment between me and the piece or between me and the story. Yeah, he's not going to come back. Usually. So what did he do? Who's he? Is it a kid, baby, مثلا?
No,
A father,
no, he's a brother.
a brother, something like this. Say it. Clarify it. Refer to it in a way or another.
Triggers, yeah, yeah.
بمعنى إنه مثلا كذا, but my brother will never come back. We all have brothers. We all want to see how it feels. So I think somebody raised her hand there finally. You want to read?
About the morning.
Morning? Okay, we'll conclude with Isra.
It was 7 a.m. Forcing my eyes to open, extending my hands towards my mobile, which was lying next to me, hitting it with the tip of my fingers to stop its never-ending naggings, which interrupted my dreams. I got up. After some moments of struggling with myself, I left my bed, my eyes half closed, my face shining with sweat. Then I dragged my foot towards the bathroom, feeling like I was carrying heavy loads of steel on my shoulders. Turning the tap on, washing my tiresome face with some drops of cold water out of hope to expel the insisting desire of sleep that covered my face. I paused, looking at my reflection on the mirror. Then I noticed that there was still a trace of the soup stuck on my nose. Moving my finger towards my nose, I wiped it with a big smile drawn on my face. Then going outside the bathroom, yawning, then covering the small hole between my lips with my right palm, I heard my mom's calling my name. Sra, are you awake? I answered indifferently, yes, Mom. Yeah. This is.
What do you think? What do you think? عجبتكم طيب محمد بيشرح لكم كيف تكتبوا ولا انتم بتيجوا ورا محمد ولا هذا شيء وراثه؟ ايه؟
I don't know, it's my style. I love it.
Because it's very similar to Muhammad's style, your brother. فأنت بتقرأي قصصه وكتاباته ومقالاته.
I read just his stories in Gaza.
بس. عمره ما شرح لك كيف تكتبي رايدي.
Maybe it was Muhammad who was influenced by her.
Who knows?
Maybe yeah. لكن it's very similar. هذا الستايل بنسميه heavy. في حاجة اسمه في الكتابة اسمها minimalism وحاجة اسمها maximalism. minimalism أسلوب زي تاع هيمينغوي. جمل صغيرة، كلمات سهلة بسيطة مباشرة بدون صفات حتى ولا أدوات مباشرة. اقرأوا لهيمينغوي بيسموه هيمينغوي مينيماليست. شو اسمه الثاني؟ فوكنر بيسموه ماكسيماليست. هيمينغوي كل كلمة جملة 3 4 5 6 كلمات 7 كلمات 10 كلمات 11 كلمات وغالبا مونوسيلابي. فوكنر بتلاقي احيانا باراجراف كامل 1 sentence. فبيضل يعمل modifying phrases, modifying clauses, adverbials, adjectival clauses, adjectival phrases بطريقة أو بأخرى. في واحد كاتب اسمه فيتسجيرالد، سكوت فيتسجيرالد أظن، فيتسجيرالد بيسموه lyricist. You know what lyricist is? Lyricist من lyrical. غنائي يعني. تقرأ كذا. فكان في مثال في كتاب ما شرحته مرة هنا في دورة كيف إنه describe a dog eating. فجابوا أمثلة funny. We don't have time to do this, maybe next time. أوكي باختصار إنه what she did 2 things. One of them is negative اللي هي overdoing this maximalism thing. يا جماعة الأصل أن نتجه للبساطة. Go simple. That's the rule. Go simple. فما فيش داعي كل شوية تقول إيش؟ Moving to the kitchen I did this. Going to the next room, yawning I did this. Be simple. Like she did a wonderful thing that we all need to do. She was very concrete, very visual. بمعنى الساعة ما كانتش ترند الارم. Was nagging. لما طفت الساعة طفت بإصبعها وإن كان عادة الواحد بيكون نايم وقرفان حاله بيكون يعمل زي هيك مثلا. tip of the ايش كمان my eyes half closed wasn't زي هذا. There was soap on my nose. Very visual, very beautiful. But try to avoid doing this style. مثلا putting my hand in my pocket I found 2 shekels. خلاص خليكي ما فيش داعي إنه أنا أعمل السسبنس ستايل this style of suspense. خلاص. When I put my hand in my I found when I put. في داعي إنه أعمل suspense. نقول sticking my head under the pillow. I fell fast asleep. Is it necessary? Wala, I slept as soon as I put my head on the pillow. Depends. But I like something, and I'll stop here. I like something Isra said, this is my style. You have to have your style. في أولها بكون شوية صعوبة, but later on you can have your own identity and own.
دائما البيجنرز يعني they try to imitate
الأصل أنا دائما بقول الأصل في البداية التقليد. قلد إيش مكان مين مكان. But by time you have to have your style. وعلى بعض الناس يقول لا الستايل بيجي لحاله أصلا. بيجي لحاله. I'll stop here. So my plan was one meeting. We did the second one. I didn't expect you to come seriously. But if you want to come for a final, if not, you don't have to. I'm ready. You just contact Yusuf or I don't know what. شكرا يا جماعة ويعطيكم العافية.